So the official trailer for Rogue One, a Star Wars story, released just a few days ago. And of course, the internet is abuzz with extreme amounts of hype and excitement. I've already had plans on doing this movie review, but when I saw this trailer, I knew I just had to do a review of it. The main reason for this is because the trailer for Rogue One may very well be one of the best trailers I have seen in my life. And I believe this trailer is one that will be studied by aspiring filmmakers for a very long time. But before I dive into what makes this trailer so special, I do want to kind of throw out a little disclaimer and say while I will keep my fandom to the side as much as possible, it will no doubt make an appearance or two. The very first shot of the trailer immediately grabs the viewer's attention with the familiar Imperial March playing in the background as TIE fighters scream past the screen. And while you've already transported the audience to a familiar place within those 2 seconds, you'll notice right away that something is different. The theme song is slower, softer, more sinister. The TIE fighters fly not in space or over a desert or a jungle, but over a populated city. But these are not the only TIE fighters we see. No, the sky is full of other Imperial fighters and landing craft. We're shown an outside shot of the city, with an Imperial Star Destroyer hovering directly above the city. It is not in space, distantly orbiting the planet. It is clearly in sight, meant to be seen. And right there, in the first 14 seconds of the trailer, the mood of this movie has already been definitively ingrained into the viewer's mind. This is not the Empire we have seen in the original trilogy. This is not the Empire of blaring trumpet soundtrack with legions of perfectly lined, white and shining armored, faceless soldiers. There's no pomp and ceremony here, no proud showing of the power of the Empire. This is reality, the Empire's hand slowly crushing everything it touches. The realization that there is no chance of finding a way out, a way to be free. How it feels to me is the comparison between the Berlin Wall and the victory parade of the Red Army, with Stalin emotionlessly staring over the masses. The parade was a very bold, blaring, and unmoving show of power with rows upon rows of thousands of men. Yet the Berlin Wall was no less a symbol of power, but it was silent, dreadful, looming over the lives of those who could not escape its spectral grasp. We feel this way again as we watch a Star Destroyer emerging from the shadow of the Death Star. Gareth Edwards uses color and shadow so beautifully it makes us ask questions that don't even need to be told to us. How can our band of heroes possibly defeat the odds piled against them? Did you see all the TIE fighters? Did you see all the stormtroopers watching everyone's lives? Did you see the lack of hope in people's eyes? But the trailer also makes us ask, is Felicity Jones even a hero? She comes before the rebel leadership, shackled, and she is asked if she can be trusted if she is given her freedom. She seems not to care much about who she is talking to or what is being asked of her. She only wants to get things over with. There is an absence of any emotional feeling from her, or at least that's how it appears. One has to ask, if this mission is so important to the rebellion, why is it being entrusted to her? Is it because she's expendable, or is there another reason? Others seem to doubt her conviction, rightly or wrongly, but Diego Luna seems to believe her enough to help her. Diego Luna is a recruiter for the Republic, and it is here that we are introduced to Zheng Wen, a man who appears to have fought for the Empire once upon a time, but now hates them for destroying his home. Perhaps he has other motivations for fighting against the Empire, but you can feel his subdued anger and resentment, and also sorrow. Already we wonder what has happened in the past to this character. I'm already interested to find out, even though I've only known this character for 5 seconds. Next we see Donnie Yen, the best and most awesome part of the trailer. We see Donnie Yen marching straight up to stormtroopers, boldly declaring that he fears nothing, and then he takes out what looks like to be 10 to 15 stormtroopers with only his staff. And while this scene is definitely made to be cool, I am still emotionally invested in the character. He appears to be blind, but his faith in the Force has made him resolute. Was he a Jedi once upon a time? And if not, how did he train in the ways of the Force? And lastly, we are given the obligatory robot character. But this one is different. Granted, the robot is still there for comedic relief, but It is rather dark, saying that it won't kill Felicity Jones. It is also quite large, imposing, and doesn't look the least bit friendly. C-3PO and R2-D2, this is not. And with the world building and character introductions complete, we are given the rising tension. We see the Death Star eclipsing a planet's sun. This is again another wonderful use of color and shadow that translates to awe-inspiring dread for the viewer. We are then introduced to the primary antagonist, Ben Mendelsohn, who's doing a death stare that comes off as menacing and not corny, which is a very good thing. He is also clothed in a white uniform, creating a sharp contrast to the blacks and dark grays we normally associate with the Empire. And then we are given the action. Rebels and Imperials run across beaches by burning vehicles as X-Wings fly overhead and lasers fly everywhere. Buildings blow up in a city, ships implode. We're given a dash of humor that honors the original trilogy and reminds everyone that though this newest Star Wars film looks like a war movie, they haven't forgotten about what makes Star Wars Star Wars. We see X-Wings flying through canyons, more buildings now at night blowing up, and we see Zhang Wen using a rocket launcher against an AT-AT. Something appears to be collapsing on our hero's spaceship as they try to get to light speed, and finally we see Felicity Jones approaching a TIE fighter on foot with only a blaster in hand. The last two scenes especially evoke questions. What is collapsing? Why is Felicity Jones walking into certain death? But the trailer hardly lets us linger on these questions as we hear Felicity Jones speaking to the ragtag crew of heroes before what we assume is their final engagement. Diego Luna has faith. That doubt in the beginning, now gone. All the other men show faith here as well as they stand up in a show of solidarity. And perhaps, for the first time in her life, Felicity Jones has people who believe in her. All in all, I feel the trailer was done very well. It set the tone, made me invest emotionally in the characters, and made me feel a sense of hopelessness. It also got me excited about the action scenes, didn't give any of the movie away, and made me ask questions. It did everything a trailer is supposed to do, and it did it in a visually and musically gorgeous way that most trailers can only hope to aspire to. I must say that I am particularly thrilled to see Zhang Wen and Donnie Yen cast in this movie. Having watched Zhang Wen in Let the Bullets Fly and Donnie Yen in his numerous films, I know that both of these actors have serious acting chops. I really hope this will alert more Americans to their Chinese and Hong Kong films. Some things do need to be addressed about the trailer though. For however brilliant I feel the trailer is, it does benefit from the Star Wars mythos and hype that most trailers don't have a fitting substitute to tap into. I say this because I don't want my exclamation of Rogue One being one of the best trailers I've seen to be taken as hyperbole. Yes, Rogue One is playing with house money, but the trailer is still shot and edited wonderfully. Another thing to take into consideration is that this is just a trailer. How many times have we seen a really awesome trailer only to be disappointed by the actual movie? One needs to only look at the Star Wars prequels for evidence that a good trailer does not mean a good movie. So while I may be praising this trailer's greatness, it means nothing as to how good the movie will be. The only thing the trailer does guarantee is that my behind will be firmly planted in a theater seat come December. Yes, I did notice the Darth Vader cameo. Don't worry, I won't forget that. I understand totally why Disney threw that in there, but I don't think it really added much to the trailer, and it was really just an homage to the fans, which is perfectly okay. But it doesn't make the trailer better just because they have Darth Vader in it. Anyways, here's to hoping that the movie will be as good as the trailer. What are your thoughts on the Rogue One trailer? Was there anything glaring that I missed? What really got your attention? How do you feel about the casting? Go ahead and feel free to leave a comment. Also, if you liked my review and want to see more reviewing goodness, go ahead and like and subscribe. Thank you for watching most of all. This is the OutcastWriter signing off. And remember, what we create matters. And rest in peace, Kenny Baker. Thank you for bringing so much joy to so many people through your characters and being a constant companion from my childhood through my teens and to the present where I review all media Star Wars related. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and you will be sorely missed.